Okay, here we go then. The last race of the day, it's all to play for. Race 2, it all comes down to the next 14 laps. And away they go. Now, and there's Darren spinning out as well. Darren, there's contact there, push Keireen wide. Oh, but he's gone off. What's going on? Shane's also there in the BMW. Oh, nearly loses it. Keireen's going to have to slow down. No, he's gone too much. It's Josh here, and he is leading. This is fantastic for Josh. Oh, a bit of a love tap. And Josh, oh my God, who's going to take it? I think it's Darren. I think it's going to be Rob. Rob gets it. He's actually on the grass. This isn't good for Tom. And he's made the move. Look at that. Through Eau Rouge. Oh, that's Mike. Mike's gone off. Oh, Craig sideways. Big time. Is it going to be enough? No, Sam takes it and takes the title ahead of Tom. Here's our final grid of the day here at Monza. Tom Foster is on the front row of the grid in the first of the K-Tech Racing Subaru WRXs. Next to him, we've got Harry Cooke in the Nissan GTR. On the second row of the grid, we've got the first Team Parker Racing Renault of Darren Parker. Next to him, we've got Rob Pellet in the first of the Elliott Racing Nissan GTRs. On the third row of the grid, we've got the other Nissan GTR of Elliott Racing of Craig Kellett and the other Team Parker Racing Renault Meganes of Sam Parker. On the fourth row of the grid, we've got K-Tech Racing Keireen Thomas, and we've got Josh Hardy in the Renault Megane. And on the back row of the grid, we've got Mike Kuipers in the Nissan GTR, and we've got Mark Nicol in the Renault Megane. Here we go then. So the final race of the day here at Monza. Tom's on the front row with Harry Cooke. Can Harry get some good points here? And away they go. Tom has got the lead. Harry's got a not so great start, but already hounded by the other two Nissans of Elliott Racing. Into the first corner they go. Oh, no, Harry goes really too fast into that chicane with Rob as well. So, as they all bundle in together, a little bit of sorting out there. It's going to be Craig in the lead, on board with Mark Nicol now already from the back of the grid. He's up to 6th position behind Keireen in the Subaru. And Mark, oh, and there's contact. Oh, Mark's been hit from behind, and he actually hits Darren into the wall as well. So we're not sure who that was, but we can have a little look at the replay to find out who hit Mark into that chicane to cause that chaos. On board with Josh then as we come into the second chicane, and again he outbrakes himself, pushes Mark into Keireen nearly, and actually into Darren. So Josh causing quite a bit of a chaotic pile-up nearly there. So upon review of the replay, we found out that it was actually Josh Swift again, unfortunately. So Josh making more contact in race 3, and the stewards are not going to take lightly to it. And Josh making names in the wrong ways here at Monza. Further up then in 4th we've got Keireen, who's just behind Sam. Tom is in 2nd, still behind Craig in 1st. But the top 3 seems to be raging on. Oh, Keireen going slightly wide there. K-Tech Racing in their newly revised livery this season. And more sponsors, mainly STP and Europercent are still sponsoring on the bonnet, with some added backing by Melee. And that's Keireen running wide into the gravel there, so that's allowed Josh behind to catch up, and he has got a lot more speed than Keireen. A bit of a love tap again behind. Now Josh needs to be really careful because he is already in the bad books for race 2 and potentially for race 3 as well. Oh, he runs wide. Oh, loses the back end and nearly takes Keireen out. So now Josh has got Darren on the back of him as well. Darren with the bright yellow lights. And that Renault looks great in the light here at the sunset-ridden Monza. Orange sun everywhere, making it difficult for the guys to see where they're going on particular corners. And Darren's already got ahead of Josh, now behind Keireen. Oh, that's Josh gone wide. And Josh is in the wall. So that's going to allow Harry and that's going to allow Mike to go ahead. So Josh makes a big mistake there. Yep, so a simple mistake by Josh, running wide, hitting the grass, and so he spins out. And again, lucky not to spin fully and facing the wrong way. The front of the race here, we've actually got a three-way tussle going on. It's very close. So on board with Tom, it's just behind Craig, and with Sam just behind him. The race for the front here, very similar to race 1, and it's really close. Tom goes into the chicane and comes out in the lead, with Sam now pushing for second in the Renault, trying to get past Craig into the next corner, and I think he's got him. Oh no, he's not. On board with Sam. So this is good for Tom after a frustrating first 2 races, and an amateur mistake by choosing the wrong tyre, and actually decided to put a standard hard tyre rather than a racing hard tyre on, and that actually got him disqualified. Whoa, and that is Sam going really aggressively over those curbs, nearly getting some air. So leading the race is Craig, and these two will get another great points haul if they continue to lead this race and come away with the best of starts. Just what they needed to continue their campaigns from last season. So lap 4 then. Sam is still just behind Craig. Into the chicane, and Sam not quite able to get the exit. He's got a bit more power, but not enough to get past, and it's actually quite difficult to overtake here at Monza. Not the widest of tracks. And Tom just holding back and patiently waiting for the two to maybe make a mistake somewhere down the line, and they're side by side. So that is Sam on the inside for the next corner. He's right where he needs to be. They're actually together, and that slowed Sam down, so that's allowed Tom now to try and push Sam for second. And Sam has just got the lead, so on the inside of Craig running slightly wide. Craig slips back into position, switches back over to the inside. Great racing between the two here into the first chicane, lap 5. Over the sausage curbs, and they do make for quite a bump if you hit them hard, specifically if you're in a Subaru. Tom's been hitting them hard and get quite a bit of air in the Subaru. So again, on board with Tom, just behind these two, fighting, and they are switching places over and over again. But it's clean racing action all the way. Whilst that carries and continues on, let's level a look further behind. We've got Harry Cooke in 5th now. Could be pushing for 4th. Earlier on it looked like it was Keireen and Darren, but Darren's dropped behind, and that looks like Keireen is dropping behind. I wonder if Keireen got involved with Darren, so that's not entirely sure. I wonder, we've got a replay to show you what's actually happened there. So let's have a little look at the replay, see what happened between Keireen and Darren. Let's have a little look, see what happens with Keireen and Darren here. So they're going into the second chicane. Keireen's got into it okay. He's come out of it and he's hit Darren, spun him round. But eventually Keireen looked slowing there to allow Darren to go past. Yeah, so unfortunately Keireen went into Darren and spun him round. Therefore, that's why Keireen slowed down for Darren, allowed him past. So Harry is right in the middle of this, but this is good for Harry, who has been just a bit further back down in towards the back end of the grid for the first 2 races, but gained a bit more confidence now and pushing for the topper end, the further end of the grid. In that striking orange livery, sponsored by Recaro. So further down is Josh with Mike on the hard tyres, and the two having a battle here. Over the curbs, and a bit of a tussle between the two, and it looks like Mike is allowing Josh to go past. So again, another incident. So Mark has managed to get ahead of them, and as has Rob. Rob goes into the gravel. Rob struggling here in race 3. So Harry's still in 5th. Now pushing for 4th, just behind Darren. And Keireen's gone wide and overtaken to take the 5th position away from Harry. So Harry's settling for 6th at the moment. On to lap 7 of 12. And Harry, well, I'm not sure what happened there, but Harry goes straight into the barriers in the first chicane, and I wonder if he avoided Keireen after outbraking himself. We've got another little replay, and see if we can have a little look to see what happened there. So on board with Harry as he gets the slipstream behind Keireen. Maybe he was unable to manage the slipstream. Straight into the wall, across the grass, lucky to not hit anyone. Yeah, so as it looks, Harry did go into the barriers on purpose so that he avoided hitting the other cars. So compromised his own racing position for someone else. Luckily he's not affected him too bad, as he still holds that 6th position. Mark's having a race on his own here down in 7th with Rob, Josh and Mike further down, but Mark is on the hard tyres here and just getting to grips with it. So this race still going on here for the lead. On board with Tom. Craig still leading, but Sam is there. And as you can see, the Renault is just pulling away on the straights. The Subaru not quite got the top end speed. As Tom is looking racy out of the exit of that, but unable to get past. So just holding on behind Sam. And Sam's got the inside again of Craig, so looking to get past, but Craig holds his position, defends well. Sam gets the back end, kicks out a little bit, and that's allowed Tom to get on the inside and get past. So Tom's taking second back ahead of Sam. It's a shame for Sam, but still able to hold on to that slipstream behind Tom to try and fight back again. So Craig is leading and he's got a bit of a gap between the two behind him, sorry. And the race here we're having is between the three teams, so this is vital for the teams championship, with all the cars here representing their teams now. So K-Tech are already quite far behind due to their issues earlier on in the day, but if Tom can finish strong here as Keireen did in race 2, this will be helpful to regain their bad start. So Sam on the back end of Tom again. Tom going over those curbs. Whoa, see how he gets the air, two wheels. Craig defending well, keeping that consistent pace, not allowing Tom to get on the back of him too easily. The laps are counting down to the last few now. Further down, Keireen on the back end of Darren, running slightly wide. Nearly going into the gravel, but just saves it at the last minute. It's allowed Darren to get a little bit further ahead. Harry Cooke now racing on his own, but I think he'll be happy with the 6th he's keeping here. It will be a good point haul for the independent, seeing as he is the top independent in this race, and will boost his campaign further, even with the overall title. Mark down in 7th on the hard tyre, looking to just get some points, and he will take away his real strong performance here to Nürburgring in a week's time, and look to continue and maybe get another win and some more points and continue to lead the independents. Further down, unfortunately, Mike struggling on the hard tyres with Josh and Rob. But up at the front of the grid now, Tom is still on the back of Craig here, but Sam has fallen back a little bit and might have made a little mistake maybe. On to the penultimate lap of the race, lap 11 of 12. And the two exit the corner quite evenly. Further down, Keireen still fighting for that fourth position behind Darren. Now, Keireen has already given a position back to Darren, so they should have no points, penalties deducted against his time. And again, Keireen looking to salvage the damage after not attending race 1. Sam's still on his own and Tom's still behind Craig. Things seem to have settled a little bit in the final stages of this race as we come round to the start finish straight to start our final lap here at Monza on the final race, on the opener of the second season of the FeckWrest Touring Car Online Championship. Craig Kellett leading the way with Tom trying to... oh, he might have got him. No, he's a bit of a tap. So Tom really exiting well there out of the chicane, but just couldn't get on the inside enough. Was lucky to get away with a bit of a tap on the back end of Craig. Now he is really pushing and attacking to get on the inside. He might have got him. No, he hasn't. Craig defends well. Whoa, a little bit of a cut there by Tom, but he could have the inside. And he's just not able to get past. Halfway round then, coming round to the third chicane for the final time. Over those sausage curbs again. So I'm trying to get the maximum exit out of the corner, but it looks like it's going to be the win for Craig as we go into the final bend for the final time. I don't think Tom's got it, not quite got the pace, so Craig Kellett in the Nissan GTR for Elite Racing takes the win ahead of Tom, who is ahead of Sam Parker. Unfortunately fell behind a little bit further at the end of the race there, but he takes the podium. Darren is going to take fourth ahead of Keireen. Harry Cooke is going to come away and take a very strong sixth at the end of the Monza race. I think he'll be happy with that to take to Nürburgring. Mark Nickel, a consistent 7th position on the hard tyres, and he will be happy with his whole race weekend here at Monza. And further down, Josh will take 8th, Mike will take 9th, and Rob will take last place in 10th. Race 3 results then. Craig takes the win in the Nissan GTR for Elite Racing. In second was the K-Tech Racing Subaru of Tom, with 3rd and 4th taken by Sam and Darren in Team Parker Racing. 5th is Keireen, 6th is Harry, 7th was Mark, 8th was Josh, Mike takes 9th, and Rob takes 10th. So looking at the Drivers' Championship points then coming away from Monza into Nürburgring, leading the way is Craig after that win with 48 points. Second is Darren with 42. Sam's close in 3rd with 41. In 4th is Mark Nickel in the Renault Megane with 40. 5th is Mike in 37. 6th is Harry with 35. 7th is Josh 32. 8th is Tom with 28, and joint at the bottom is Rob and Keireen, both with 24 points. In the teams, Parker Racing still leading, but only by just 5 points with 91. Elite Racing build up some more points with 86, and K-Tech salvaged the damage with a good points haul there, are now on 61. In the independents, coming away in the lead is Mark by 2 points with 54. Mike is by 4 points, so Mike is in second with 50. Third is Harry with 48, and at the back it's Josh with a lot of work to do with 42 points.